Hello, SpaceCallers. This is an update specifically written to train agents for SpaceCaller.com and its merchant cash advance process with fluent capital access. This session will go over the basics of the business, about the industry, the script, the application, good policies, and tips we've learned from being in the industry for 5 years. This is a business-to-business campaign. This industry is heavily called, so it's going to take some dedication. This process is recommended for agents with previous sales training. Business owners get called all the time by MCA companies. Notably, you may think that companies eligible for an MCA have been saturated, but Lending Club, a major player in the industry, thinks that the market size is around $300 billion a year for good credit applicants. What this means is even bigger for ultra FICO-lenient companies in the MCA industry. According to a survey we found released by 4 regions Federal Reserve banks, 52% of businesses with revenue under $250,000 a year said they were rejected for a loan during the first half of 2014. Half of businesses with revenue of $250,000 to $1 million also couldn't get a loan. This is where the MCA business has come from. We provide hard capital to businesses so they can either grow their business or get out of a pinch. Growth in this industry has been forested through a turf war for the same merchants. These merchants are resellable and have been stacked with multiple advances or simultaneous advances. This has been spurred by a belief that there are no more untapped businesses left to fund, but that's not true. It's very untrue. There's plenty of businesses out there. It just takes the dedication to call them. I've been in this industry for over 5 years. At that time, this industry was just getting its legs, and one of my SEO partners brought me this opportunity to the table because he had a customer that was just crushing it. Since then, I've worked with multiple businesses that have reached over 50 and 100 million per year in this business industry. It's about dedication to your craft. If you do the work, you'll succeed. Not to say great leads won't help you, but getting up and planning your calls and making your personal goals is what's going to change your future. Since this campaign is business to business, you're free to call all businesses. If you plan to use an auto dialer, it's illegal to call cell phones unless you have prior consent. If you're manually dialing, it's okay if your system does not have the capability to auto dial. Over the next couple days, we will add an API on our submission form that will show if the number is a cell phone or a landline. Right here. Companies will hang up on you after they hear the word funding or working capital. This is why it's important to be creative and present with your pitch. Your energy, authenticity, and courtesy, or you, is what businesses are believing in. 9 out of 10 times, businesses will not look for other lenders after you've built rapport with them. You must keep these businesses on the phone to hear you out. Don't be a pushover. Don't forget the lessons you've learned in previous sales positions. If you want more information about the industry, Google it. There's plenty of it out there. Also on YouTube, there are many videos teaching you how to sell this product and can be very beneficial. The minimum monthly revenue for a business we want to lend to is businesses that do $10,000 and above monthly. The sweet spot of businesses eligible is the segment doing $16,000 to $400,000 gross per month. The minimum monthly revenue, you will lose commissions, arguments, and occasionally your mind. Accept your losses when they happen and focus on the next deal. How does the cash advance work? Unlike a loan, where a small business borrows money and agrees to pay it back with interest within a fixed period of time, an MCA allows a small business to raise capital by selling a portion of his future credit card sales in exchange for upfront cash payment, called the purchase price. The merchant cash advance provider buys the aggregate amount of small business future credits card sales and at the specified amount. In the MCA transaction, there's a merchant cash provider is entitled to receive a fixed percentage of the small business's credit card sales. And if to extend such sales occur, until the merchant cash advance provider has received the specified amount of future credit card sales it purchased. As a result, MCAs do not involve payments, but rather remittances of purchased credit card receivables, the actual amounts of which align with the small businesses' fluctuating credit card sales volumes. MCAs have no set term maturity date or fixed minimum payment amounts, and therefore there are no late fees or penalties. Accordingly, the period of time which purchase receivables may be remitted to the merchant cash advance provider is an estimate only. This might have been read quickly, but if you Google it, it'll make more sense, or just read the website Fluent Capital Access for more FAQ information. I'm just trying to give a minimal amount so you can proceed and understand what this business is all about. The amount of a business that they can ask for an advance for or qualify for is anywhere in between 50% or 150% of average monthly sales total. On the client site and our submission form page, we have supplied FAQ information for both you and the client. So here on the site, we have FAQ information that clients can look at, and here on our submission form, we have a bunch of FAQ questions where you can review yourself if you forget. We've built a few things here to try and help you move through the process as seamlessly as possible. The requirements of our process and why our process is easier than working at another MCA call center is that our contract lets you sign up the applicant with an intuitive online form. This form, as shown in this video, has all the info needed and helps the customer fill out the info to improve I made a little mistake there. Our form is intuitive and it's pretty rapid to allow the customer to go and just fill it out. Where other places use a PDF and have to get that information from the client, this is much easier. So I'm going to go back to what I was reading. If you worked in an office, the typical process, which you should know to mention to possible clients, is that someone calls a business, offers them an MCA in which they choose to accept. Then they need to fill out a paper application, scan and give them their bank statements or also their credit card statements. When this happens, you lose so many potential clients. Without the system to do the application online and never have to chase them over the phone again will help you get more customers and fulfill their questions as they have them, and make this process seamlessly. I can't stress enough, make this sound easy to the customer. Test our application, study it, make your pitch very conducive for the business to sign up with you on the first call. Having them spend the 5 minutes that it takes, that really means it all to you. So that's the big thing about this pitch. You don't have to chase these people down. After you submit the form with everything that's in it, all the questions and the bank statements, or have them do it, then your job is done and all you have to do is wait to be paid. As of February 4th, 2016, the commission for a funded deal is 1.5% of the funding amount, which will be paid before the merchant company that is getting funding gets paid on the first Friday that it's available, because our paydays are on Friday. To be paid the commission amount, you must first get the customer to fill out the application and submit its bank statements in the document drop part of the form. If the application is incomplete, then you can ask them to submit the data later for the bank statements, where they can rejoin the application at any time. So as soon as they type in their first name last name, email, you'll see at the bottom of the page that the save and continue button is there. If they drop this form at this point, then the form will send them an abandoned email where they can move forward. But to further that, if they stop at the bank statements area, it will do that. It will either send them the email when they hit save and continue, or it'll send them the email when they abandon it. So, we've really done a lot to save as much information as easy as possible for these people and make this process super easy. Okay, now it's time for the pitch. This script is 100% more effective than the other scripts out there bluntly asking for funding. We will provide another video from one of our sales managers to provide some other script readings and some live recorded calls on the page of our submission form on SpaceCaller.com for Fluent Capital Access. As you are working the script with the customer, you should be filling out the submission form with his client data, which is basically this information here: name of establishment, manager, first name, last name, and phone. As of February 4th, 2016, in the next few days, we will add a button on the submission form that will send to this person an email from the client's company, Fluent Capital Access, with a link to the application. So when they're ready, they can hit the link in the button, and instead of having you to tell them where to go, which is pretty easy as part of your process, but it just makes it easier, and it shows that you have already got their information and the company's on top of reaching out to them. So our script, the most important thing is to get the owner on the phone or get the owner's attention and hold his or her interest. If you have the name of the owner, say the first name of the owner as you know them, and if the correct gender answers the phone, this is key to getting past the first set of objections, and him or her getting you off the phone because they think it's a solicitation. Another way to get past the gatekeeper, she's asking, what is this regarding? And you say, this is regarding to UCC case file 45815. It's very important that I speak with him or her. A private banking matter, so I can only speak to him about it. There's plenty of ways, if you are experienced salesmen, to get past gatekeepers. There's plenty of opportunity here. Like I said before, it's just about dedication. So here's our example script. Hi, Mike, with enthusiasm and familiarity. Are you having a great day? Wait, let them respond. Excellent. I wanted to reach out to you because I specialize in your specific industry, and I wanted to let you know that your business has been selected and put on a list of 30 businesses out of 4,800 to participate in the Rebuilding America Funding Opportunity Program. Now, I have you pre-qualified from between $27,000 to $84,000 of funding. Pause. If your business were to grow significantly because of this funding, is there a possibility, even a small possibility, that you would hire just one employee within the next 18 to 24 months? Yes, great. Then you'd qualify for a discounted rate with our Rebuild America program. As I mentioned, you have pre-qualified based on your industry standards for between $27,000 to $84,000. You can get more, but you can always get less. So I can get you approved for the max. Then we can have you take less if you want. Now let me ask you, what would be the first thing you would do or purchase with the funding? In other words, how would you deploy those funds? We want to get them to reciprocate, get them excited. What would they do? Get in their mind, be their friend. Great. Now with that, significantly grow your revenue for your business. Again, be quiet and listen. They will say they will pay off back bills, payroll, buy equipment, make payroll, etc. Now, Mike, the application process is extremely simple. All I need from you is to fill out the online application, and in that include 4 months of your bank statements. Are you currently in your home or office where you have 5 minutes to do this? If you're able to get them in front of a computer, you can send them a link, or you can tell them the link to type in, or have them just go to Fluent Capital Access and then click the Apply Here button at the top of the page. Super simple. And then this application should only take 5 minutes of your time. After completed, we will send an offer later today. So it's very simple. You know, if they have rebuttals, you know, you're going to have to learn these, and we're available to help you. You know, you can Skype us or call us. We're here to help. Our goal is to try to get 1,000 people on this process. So, you know, we will start holding conference calls and training calls as we grow. Right now, we're around 180 agents. So the more the better. If the merchant says, I'm not interested in the program, you can say, what are you not interested in? Are you not looking for the money, or you do not like these types of programs? This may surprise the merchant, but it's another way of engaging them in conversation. Remember, you're trying to get yeses. If the merchant says, I'm not looking for money, you could say, okay, although you're not looking for money now, I'd like to send you information on the program in case you have projects in the future that require capital. Remind them in a nice manner how challenging the current economy is, and we are a strong source to obtain financing in a very short period of time. If the merchant says, I'm not interested in this type of program, you could say, okay, what don't you like about the program? Let them tell you what you don't like. Whether it's the cost of money, then use a brief rebuttal and ask the merchant if you could send them the information and contact them in the future. You know, this is all about building a rapport with these people. And, you know, you can, as an independent consultant, you can build relationships with these people however you want, you know, in a professional way. But, you know, this is a good opportunity. As briefly described before, and as clearly described on our job board page and the actual job page, you can see that this process pays 1.5% or $10 for a minimum application. We are going to try to get that minimum application fee for qualified applicants to $40 if a deal doesn't fund. So therefore, your time and effort is really worth it. But other than that, we pay 1.5% currently, which also we hope to raise. But on a $20,000 loan, you know, that is $300. So on a $40,000 loan, you know, that's $600 and up from there. So, you know, with your dedication, if you can commit to trying to get 10 applications a day, you know, 1 in 10 will at least fund. So, you know, you really just have to commit yourself to trying, and you will be successful. I'm going to do a brief overview of our sign-up process right now. So it's at fluentcapitalaccess.com. You hit the Apply Here button. I'm just going to go through this so you can see how easy it is. On our submission form, we've provided screenshots of every page of the application. So you can, if the customer is going through the application, you can run it through with them. Okay, so as I stated before, every time they fill out a field, it saves that field. So, you know, they will be contacted no matter what if they just put in this info. You know, this is your lead, this is your client. You know, if you want to chase after them, you know, we are more than glad, you know, go ahead, as long as, you know, they are accepting of your business. You know, try to be successful. All of these things have validation fields, phone number, Currently, we're not using any promo code. You just need to get them fill out their information and make sure that you have their same name and email in your submission form. So therefore, you know, we can match it up with the funded deals. So this is the intuitive process, and we think that it adds a great, great feel to our system, which makes it a lot easier than them having to do a bunch of typing. And after this, merchants come out of here feeling like that was cool. I'm doing something cool. So what we're doing is we're typing in the business. If it's a recognized business, then they'll probably already have their info on Google. So what you'll do is you just choose their business. If not, you just skip to next and then they can type it in. But you can see here we have all their information already filled out. Then it's up to them to pick, their industry, how long they've been in business. The minimum amount of business for this needs to be 1 year to be able to get funding. They need to provide their tax ID. One of the only fields that isn't required is their website, but it's always good to provide that so underwriting can see that they're a legitimate business. You want to get all their info. It's pretty easy. I'm just going to put same as business address. They can choose, if they don't know what their FICO score is, they can put I'm not sure. Then, we will look it up for them. They will authorize us to do a consumer credit report. If they don't own a majority of the business, then they need to put what percentage of ownership they have. At 20%, they are actually allowed to do a merchant cash advance, but we recommend that they add the other owners in here. So we're just going to say, yes, we are. We're going to say our gross revenue is $1 million. We want $100,000. The purpose of our funding is we want to buy new equipment. Does the business currently accept credit cards? Although we can do businesses without credit cards, we're going to get a much higher approval rate of companies that do credit cards. In our submission form, we have a list of industries that are best served. So these are the industries that you want to hit. Anything with high dollar, revenue from credit card is a good opportunity, really. So, now we're putting if they have current financing, yes or no. And they can choose no if they don't. If not, they can put what they want: bank loan, personal loan, balance of $1, balance of $25, etc. Here's a drag and drop from your computer. All they have to do is take their bank statement PDFs and drop it on there, and then it's ready to go. That was an image, so it's really not supposed to do that, but PDFs, just drop it right on there. And then after this, they'll get an email. And that's about it. So, it's a pretty easy process. If you have questions, again, like I said, you're free to call us. We'll provide as much information as possible for you to be successful in this process. And we look forward to working with you.